inverted, narcissistic, and most importantly, completely pointless. Come waste an hour of your week with The Starting Block, Friday nights Australian time at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. Get in touch with us on Twitter at The Starting Block, no K at the end. Also, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes by searching for The Starting Block, all one word, or on Podbean at startingblock.podbean.com. Join the blockheads, tuning in their millions, right around the world.
You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, welcome to The Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We're talking Olympics, we're talking cancellations, we've got story times, we've got a couple of little special surprises, including a new Milo update, all that and much, much more here on The Block.
Gonna stop me now.
It's Greeno here from The Starting Block. On behalf of The Block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok, and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is TAVshow.com's game. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, welcome to the starting block for another week. You've got myself, Greeno, and I'm joined by a man who's been feverishly working on a remix of Strawberry Kisses to be released in 2032. My co-captain, Damo. How are we, sir?
Very. Just straight off the blow. Look, I know I'm trying to wind these back, but we're just going to have to... Nice, Gary! What was it, Nikki Webster reference?
Nikki Webster.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I was trying to think of something amusing about the Olympics.
Nobody just randomly thinks of Nikki Webster, though. Like, that had to be triggered by something.
And we got triggered by the fact we got the Olympics.
We got the Olympics on, yeah. It's not
and
really
I had to think about
Olympics,
what was like a topical reference back in like 2000. I'm like, Nikki Webster, throwing a Nikki Webster joke over the show.
Very well done.
That's the one.
It's not really the Olympics, though.
Millions?
Yeah, around the world, whatever. It's not really the Olympics, though, is it? Because there's nobody there. I can't watch, because I'm a Premier League fan, the English Premier League. Go Southampton all the way. But I can't watch the Premier League when there's no fans in the stadium. It's like watching training.
Not doing it for you?
No, it's like watching a training run. Like, even though they're really playing, it's still like watching training. Yeah. I need that crowd noise and shit. So if I see any clips of anything happening at the Olympics and it's just an empty stadium, I'm just not going to be able to watch it. I have no interest. I don't know why.
Well, I'm looking forward to the cringe and the awkwardness of people standing up on the podium waving at no one.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I really feel bad for the athletes because they're being robbed of experience now, like lifelong experiences. You train your whole fucking life, Greeno, from the age of 5 to compete in a sport for like more than likely one shot, like very rare. Do people come back and win 2 gold medals or whatever? So you get one shot in your prime to get this gold medal, and you get it after years and years and years and years of sacrifice, and you've got to wave to an empty stadium. Like it's fucking heartbreaking, I reckon, for these athletes. But there's a lot of that going around lately, isn't there?
Exactly.
There's a lot of punishment going around. I thought, Greeno, maybe we could just very quickly. I found this clip just before the show. And I think it goes well to kind of explain what Sydney and Wollongong as well, where Greeno's at now, what's kind of happening here. Do you get the sense, Greeno, that everyone's like punch drunk and they've just been smashed in the face over the last month and they're like, what the fuck is going on? Where am I? What is this? You know what I mean? Do you get that? A
little bit. Quick reflection before we get to the story is listening to the intro. To about a minute and 25 seconds ago when the intro was playing.
You said reflection. You were doing a reflection. I didn't know it was going to be like a short. I didn't know it was going to be a short-term reflection. Usually when people reflect, it's like their youth or whatever. It's like
it's all in the past, Amo. It's all in the past. To the PSA that we play in the intro. And it's like, Greeno here from the starting block, and we got some fucking sad music, and it's basically a PSA about COVID. Yeah. Now, I remember writing and recording that.
Hang on. We need to interrupt.
It's a plug for our show.
That's right. It's not a PSA about COVID. It's a plug for the show.
To pretend it's a PSA.
That's right.
That's the beauty of it.
That's right.
So I remember writing that, recording it, sent it to you, and I'm like, dude, this is a fucking waste of time, man. I'm gonna have to fucking this thing will be over in no time.
It's gonna be over 2 more weeks, Greeno.
I'm gonna have to. I'm only going to be able to, it's only going to be relevant for like, a couple of months max. Like, fuck, this seems like a waste of my time. Yep. And just listening to that then made me laugh, thinking about when I recorded it going, what a fucking waste of my time. No, man, I'm getting my money's worth with that fake PSA promo because it's still relevant to this day and will be for years to come by the looks of it.
Yeah, years to come. It was around this time last year when politicians were saying shit like, look, this is going to be around for years, and we were all laughing at them going, fuck off, as if this is going to stick around for years. And next thing you know, here we are. How are you going to fuck up
the management of this thing for it to be around for years? Like, it's going to take a complete clusterfuck of management for this to be sticking around for years to come. And lo and behold, here we are a year later, clusterfuck, and still around.
Well, you know what, though? It was a slow-moving car wreck because I remember covering the shit, Greeno, on my show like back in February last year, and I was like, okay, if it's this bad, then you need to quarantine China. Right. So that's what needs to be done. And I remember watching the clips of like the health experts then saying, oh, that's ridiculous. It's racist. It's xenophobic. Right. Shit like this. Oh, don't be silly. That's crazy. But now we're the ones being locked in our homes. And you have teams of people wearing hazmat suits going around spraying shops and stuff. We were watching videos of that in China last year. And if you said, hey, wow, okay, if we don't want that here, so let's quarantine them until we figure out what the fuck is going on. Oh, no, can't have that. Can't have that. No, that's racist, you see. No, that's fear-mongering. And now we're stuck. And then they're still like kind of pointing their finger at us going, it's all your fault. You know, you need to be more careful when you go outside. You need to do this. Like, hang on a minute. How am I the bad guy here? I'm the one that's getting locked up in my house.
Something else we touched on the show probably about 9-10 months. Actually, no, it would have been about 12 months ago now. Is I was pointing out the fact that we lived on an island.
Yeah.
You know, generally that's a good thing because it means we can control who the fuck comes in.
Yep.
So once we got to 0 cases in Australia, that might have been a good idea to go.
Shut the door.
Hey, fucking either shut the door, but if we're going to open the door, let's make sure it's in a way that is going to put the whole population at 0 risk for this thing to spread again.
Yep.
But lo and behold, hotel quarantine, fucked up, spread again.
Oh, no,
lockdowns.
Greeno, fuck hotel. Don't worry about hotel quarantine. Go a step earlier than that. I remember watching footage of people getting off planes from China, like hundreds of them, because the universities, Greeno, there's a lot.
University cash, Damo.
The export university market for us, and what I mean by that is like taking foreign students, is like our 3rd biggest industry. It's like behind mining and housing, and it's education. So that's a huge boon to the economy. And so this thing was kicking off over there, and we were watching people get off the plane. And what was happening was people were being handed at the airport a pamphlet that said, hey, if you've got flu-like symptoms, call this hotline number. The hotline,
give us a buzz.
Give us a call, see if you get the sniffles or whatever. And we were saying, hang on a minute, you shouldn't be letting anybody in, right? Otherwise, we're going to have to fucking, be welding people in their houses like they're doing now. They're like, what are you doing? No, come on. So the day after university went back in this country, that's when they changed the rule. I swear to God, and said, okay, no more flights from China. The next day after university opened.
After they got all the university students in, got their cash.
So our precaution, our top health expert at the time, remember, trust the experts, Greeno. Got to listen to the experts. They were handing out pamphlets to people getting off planes from China, and it said, if you get the sniffles, call this number. But the hotline was only open from like 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon, Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
That's how serious they were taking it back then.
100%.
So give them a nice Gary.
If we're going to trust the experts as well, I like the expert advice is you need zero cases of community transmission for 2 weeks before you can unlock remove lockdown, right?
So 0 is flatten the curve now. Is that what 0 is?
0 is flatten the curve. Okay. But here's a fun little fact for you, Damo. Yeah. My particular suburb and local area, 1 case in the last 6 weeks, and that was 6 weeks ago. Still under lockdown.
Yeah, funny how that works, isn't it?
6 weeks, there was 1 case, and that was because someone rocked up, went to a baby bunting here, and 6 weeks with no community cases whatsoever in my overall area, not just my suburb, I'm talking the overall Shell Harbour area.
Yeah.
Somehow, I'm still in lockdown.
Yeah, I mean,
trust the experts, Damo.
Trust the expert. I mean, 0 probably isn't flattening the curve enough, because I've got examples where 0 isn't good enough. Like this week on my show, I covered a story of a guy who flew from Canada to come to Australia to see his dying mother. His mum's dying of cancer in Brisbane, right? So he flies, he gets on the plane. He goes from Canada to Australia, no problem. Stamp the ticket, here you go, off on your way, sir. He then gets to Sydney, and then to catch a plane to go to Brisbane to see his mum, he's denied access to Queensland. So he has to sit in hotel quarantine. She dies, right? So while he's locked up in the hotel. Meanwhile, he's tested negative for coronavirus 4 times in this time period. So he doesn't have it, clearly. He's passed every test, and it's still not good enough. So in that case, 0 isn't low enough. We need to get to negative. Lower. Yeah, because even if you don't have it, no, sorry, sir, can't let you out. I'm afraid it's too risky. Got to keep people, got to trust the science. You know how these things go. So anyway, this is now developing every hour or two. The story keeps changing. The rules keep changing every few days. So this is about an hour old, this clip. Have a look at this, Greeno.
Good evening. Sydney's COVID outbreak has moved from crisis to national emergency.
National emergency now.
Case numbers continue to climb, today reaching 136.
Wow.
And the Premier is running out of options. The so-called ring of steel around the fair.
Ring of steel, Greeno.
Ring of steel, Damien.
They're literally calling it. They want to surround us in a quote ring of steel.
But here's the thing, though, Damo. Let's just, once again, I'm gonna apply
the
my
Iron Curtain is now in Canterbury. It's moved from
I'm
Soviet
gonna use
Russia.
my accounting brain, right?
Yeah.
Out of that 126 cases, how many were located inside said ring of steel?
Oh, that's a good question. I think from two of them, actually, I did hear a number. From two of the three suburbs that they've now put under house arrest, I think it was like 18. 18 people. Yeah.
Because what I'm looking at is if all 126 are already in the ring of steel, the 126 looks bad on the surface. But if they're already inside the ring, do you remember Gladiators when they used to have that game with the big ball of steel?
Yes.
And they'd have to smash into each other, try and get it out of the ring?
Yes.
Imagining that. Now, if the COVID's already inside the Gladiator ball of steel, and the 126 cases are already in there, it seems bad, but it's already inside the ring.
That's true. That's true. So we can just let them fight to the death, Greeno, in like a Mad Max style post-apocalyptic war zone.
And slowly but surely just shrink that ring to the point it's just one big combustible ball of nothing but COVID.
Yeah, like Fortnite, how like the gas comes in. You got to keep moving with the map, it'll get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then so we can look at this. We've fixed the Greeno. I don't know anything about COVID. You don't know anything about entertainment, but we have now created like a Hunger Games style. Let's get all the suburbs in there, ring of steel, and there will be only one victor at the end of it, Greeno.
How do you feel?
How do you feel? Now, we should point out that if this plan is going to take place, I do want to point this out here to show you this map very quickly.
Local government area are now being
if this map for the Hunger Games
These heavy restrictions apply to 400,000 in the Blacktown LGA, around Mount Druitt, Marsden Park, Riverston, Quakers Hill, Prospect and Blacktown itself. While
can you pause it there for a second, quickly?
Yep.
Now, what do all those suburbs seem to have in common, Damo?
Oh, well, they've got a lot of things in common.
Aside from the COVID factor, would you say, low socioeconomic value?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas, where did this outbreak start, Damo?
The eastern suburbs, Greeno.
Nice, Gary.
Right, Damo. Question, Damo. Was there a ring of steel around the eastern suburbs early on in the outbreak?
No, there certainly wasn't. There was lots of young, successful go-getters on their beach jog in the morning holding a cappuccino, though. There was plenty of that going on. Now the
interesting ring, that one.
Now the people in these suburbs, they need to get, they'll have to wait in hours-long queues to get a COVID test and stuff. And the reason I thought we should have a look at this map is because, selfishly, if we're going to turn this is 1.5 million people, by the way, under house arrest now.
Yeah.
If we're going to turn this into a post-apocalyptic style game show, Greeno, then we must act quickly because the area Greeno and myself grew up in is basically like right on the border of two of these. So if we don't put the ring of steel around them now, then we're going to end up in the ring of steel. So I'd much rather watch on, So.
Nice, Gary.
Fun fact for you, Damo. 126 cases. No good. Bad. Very, very bad. Out of that, what'd you say, 1.25 million approximately live in that area, the Ring of Steel?
1.5.
Oh, 1.5. Hang on, wait, sorry, I'm going to readjust my math.
A quarter of the city's population, basically.
All right. You know what percentage, 126 sounds bad. What percentage of the population that is currently in lockdown that figure is?
Well, like of the city?
Oh, no, of the city that's now, the suburbs are now in lockdown, 1.5 million.
Yep.
There's 126 cases. That's 0.008% positive cases.
Nice, Gary.
I mean, we've got to keep people safe, Green. We're all in this together, and it's just 2 more weeks,
Yeah.
It's just 2 more weeks. There you go. Fuck
all right, that's enough. That's enough corona talk. Let's talk Olympics, Damo, because fucking forget the Olympics that are going on in Japan.
Nice,
the winner is Briz Ah.
Briz Ah.
Damo, I've never. Do you remember? Now you can hit a step back in time, sir.
Absolutely.
Quick apology to the listeners for the angry start to the show. We've vented our frustrations. Now we're going to move on with the stupid comedy. We're going to step back in time to, I believe we were in year 5, Damo.
Yep.
Now
I know exactly where I was when I heard the news.
Yeah, so do I. We were at
Broken
Bay Camp.
Yep.
Our teachers, the announcement was at about 4:30, 5 a.m. in the morning, Australian time.
Yep.
And our teachers, we were all in a big cabin together.
Yeah,
our teachers were watching it on TV.
It was like 20 boys, I think. Like at least, or those thereabouts. It was like it was a camp like in the woods, and you did shit and hiking and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Made a damper.
Yeah.
And the teachers woke us up on the last day. It was a Friday. I remember it vividly. Teachers woke us all up. Go, kids, we got the Olympics. It was fucking unbelievable. We were all excited. We were all cheering.
The dorm room.
The dorm cheered.
Yeah.
It was a big moment. It was like, we're never going to experience this in our life. Now, lo and behold, 32 or more than that, 30 odd years later, the Brisbane Olympics get announced.
Bris Vegas, Greeno.
Bris Vegas, Australia gets the Olympics again. And quite frankly, in Australia, given what we're going through, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
It was
so true.
It was quite an interesting
true. It's so true. No, I didn't even know until days later. I was like, oh shit, really? Really? Poor Brisbane.
I was thinking, I was reflecting back to the Sydney announcement. Do you remember the video, like John Fay,
jumping up out of his chair,
jumping up? There was literally a room of thousands and thousands of people in Sydney when the announcement went. We're all cheering.
And I even remember the cadence of the winner is Sydney.
And fucking we went ballistic, and everyone, the whole nation was excited.
Yep.
Now I sent you this video. This was this generation's equivalent.
Yes.
Of that particular scenario.
Okay,
let's have a look at this video.
Okay, so this is right after the announcement. They've just announced Brisbane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus. It looks like ScoMo is saying he's introducing an episode of Play School. Should we keep watching? Let's keep watching because ScoMo, he's fired up.
I haven't. That caught me because I haven't watched this yet. Look at the fucking the teethy grin, Greeno. Like
the teethy grin, waving like he's saying goodbye at the end of an episode of Play School, sir.
Hi, it's like, hi, kids.
Hi, boys and girls. And then he didn't realize where he's meant to go. If you go back and watch, he actually waves down. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I know. Shit, I'm going to be looking over here. Wait. That's the video this generation kids are going to remember and reflect on in 30 years' time. The winner is Brisbane.
Brisbane. There you go.
That's so good. Hi, boys and girls.
And then what?
And then awkward. Wait. What do I do?
Hang on.
Oh, so good.
Oh, and then a little fist pump in there. Scotty shitting a carby blokey footy, mate. Fucking well.
Nice, Gary.
So good. Now, Damo, I like, you know me, I like getting to the numbers. Australia, it was a tie fought battle, Damo, battle. To see who'd get the Olympics. You know, it's fucking, this is the Olympics.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at the numbers.
I bet, if I don't even know what you're going to say, I bet nobody else fucking wanted it.
There was only one bid for this Olympics.
Was there really?
Brisbane.
Oh,
yeah,
there
was. Brisbane was
joking.
I'm not. Brisbane was the only bid. So Anastasia, the Premier of Queensland, had to duck on over to Tokyo.
When has that ever happened, though? When has that ever happened?
I can't recall it's ever happened. I can't recall it. But the last Olympics to actually make a profit was the Sydney Olympics. It doesn't make as much money as you think anymore. It's not a profitable business.
Well, it's definitely not now. Like Japan might be going all the way back to medieval samurai shit at the rate they're going. Like how much this is going to cost.
Yeah, shit's going to turn into Greece, baby.
Yeah. Pay your debts, Greece.
But here's the fun fact, Damo. Do you want to know what percentage of the vote they got? Because they still had to vote for it.
Oh,
the IOC had to vote.
Oh, no. How much?
No, they got 90% of the vote. So 10% of the IOC voters chose just like, fuck it. We're just not going to have one. How do you only get 90% of the vote in a one-horse race?
Because you're Brisbane. It's so fucking funny. Poor Brisbane. So they only get it. So we'll always have that over them now. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But I bet you that they do it well because you know why? Because it doesn't surprise me that the last one to be profitable was the Sydney one, because for two reasons. One, September 11 happened like in 2001, and that probably changed everything. Like everybody's security budgets went through the roof. Yada yada yada. But then also we know how to run shit too. We can run shit. We can do an event. We know how to have a good time. But poor old Brisbane, they get it because nobody else fucking wanted it. And nobody's talking about them getting it because yet again, Sydney, a few people getting sick in Sydney is bigger news than Brisbane getting the fucking Olympics.
Nice, Gary!
That's everybody's talking about Sydney again. So Brisbane must be just fucking seething over there behind that locked border. The fucking cunts. Fucking Sydney cunts. And that makes me smile, Greeno.
Nice, Gary!
Makes me very happy.
But they'll always have Mr. Morrison's neighbourhood, Damo.
Yeah. Clapping on Zoom.
Let's get to the current Olympics, Damo, because we got a hot toss story to get the Olympics. Not just the one that.
Oh yeah, that's shit right there.
Oh. Someone was sent in by Jim N-word. We decided now we're going to pick one, definitely, because Jim sends in like a plethora of content each week. And as is evidenced on this show, we barely get to what's in the rundown. So, the least we can do, considering all the content Jim sends in, is make sure we at least give him one story a week. So Jim was kind enough to send this one in. It's a beautiful hot toss story and links in with the Olympics.
Yeah. And because we've spoken before in the past, Greeno, about these Olympics villages, which, it's the reason I bring it up is because I just find it so fucking funny.
We love it.
Imagine
we love it every Olympics.
Yeah. Because it's like this weird kind of little unspoken thing that Olympic athletes have with each other. And it's not something that generally gets reported about outside of the athletes. But basically, the Olympics is known. One of the perks of going to the Olympics is it's basically like a fuck fest. So
big old fuck fest. Yeah.
That's right. So all of these athletes, like after they complete their their mission, after they complete their event, then it's like, well, it's a 2-week party time if you do it in the start of the Olympics or whatever. And then they party and they drink, and like all of the world's best athletes are in the one place. So they're all like, well, who can keep up with an athlete in the sack? Of course, it's going to have to be another athlete. So the COVID.
I tell you who I feel bad for in the Olympic Village, Damo. The shot putters.
The shot putters.
Because you think about it, you got all these beautiful, fit, healthy bodies, and then you got the shot putters.
The shot putters.
And like they're just sitting in the corner going, like, where's my loving? Where's my I don't know, there might be some chubby chasers inside the Olympic Village.
Oh yeah, I reckon. I reckon there'd be people going after the shot putters. I wouldn't surprise me, like if say like a Kenyan long distance runner would be interested in like a Russian shot putter. Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that dynamic.
That's his kink.
Well, he's probably well, if he's a Kenyan long distance runner, he probably sees a lot of skinny women all the time. And then here comes this, this Russian, woman who's built like a fridge. Like, I want you to fuck me. And he's like, oh my God. Like, so I imagine, everybody's getting lucky at the Olympics, Greeno.
Yeah. Okay. Fair call.
Nobody misses out. But then you add the COVID dynamic into these Olympics, which are already a year late. So people are already getting extra edgy out there. Extra toey, Greeno. They've been waiting an extra year.
The Olympic rubbers are piling up, Damo.
Piling up. And then this story comes out. Athletes to sleep on anti-sex cardboard beds at Olympic Games amid COVID. Can you imagine? We were talking about these kids being robbed of, a great life experience. Imagine winning the gold medal after training your whole life and having to wave to an empty stadium. So not only does that take place, but then you've heard all of these stories coming up about how it's like a massive fuck fest in the Olympic Village and you can't wait. And you're like, that Swedish volleyball team, I'll have me some of that. And then they install these beds, which are literally called anti-sex beds.
Nice, Gary!
They're trying to rob you of that as well. Why even bother going to the Olympics? What are you getting out of it now?
It also goes, because I assume this is done by the Japanese organisers, correct?
It would have to be not just them, but like an Olympics. The Olympics committee would have to sign off on it because they have to sign off on everything.
Yeah, which says a lot about the Japanese and the Olympics committee and the kind of sex these people have, Damo. Because if you got yourself in the Olympic Village with a gymnast, like I'm pretty sure there's something other than a bed you're going to be able to flex into in the love making.
Yep.
Is the whole room anti-sex, perhaps?
Well, here's actually conveniently, here's a little video of an Irish gymnast jumping up and down on the anti-sex bed, Greeno. Do you want to have a look at this?
All right. Let's have a look. Let's see what's happening there.
Okay. Sure, it's got sound. Hang on.
Ads are meant to be anti-sex. They're made out of cardboard, yes, but...
Of course, the fucking Irish guy is going to be the first one.
That's the first thing he did. He's like, look, I got to see how much weight I can put on this bed before I work out who my target's going to be in this Olympic Village. Because he might have to rule out the shot putters, Damo.
That's right.
I'm just saying.
All the other athletes are like walking around, oh, that's nice. Well, I can't wait to get back into my training regime and stuff. And he's like, this guy's like, yeah, so where do I get me Guinness and where do I fuck me lass? Like, I got to bring it. What do you fuck, anti-sex bed? Go fuck yourself. So
let me check the weight.
Yeah, I'll test it out.
Apparently, they're meant to break at any sudden movements. It's fake news.
Hey,
in today's
there you
episode
go.
Of fake news at the Olympic Games, the beds are meant to be...
See, I reckon this guy has put like a whole bunch of phone books under the bed because this is his way of enticing women over. He's like, no, don't listen to him. It's not an anti-sex bed. Come over. We can fuck. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
This guy's laying the groundwork. He's putting in the effort. Who's this guy? Reese McClanahan. He's now my new favorite Olympic athlete.
Yep.
Reese.
Nice, Gary.
Can we actually keep an eye on him? Is BE around? Because BE's good with shit like this. Is there any
BE's
way,
all over the Olympics.
Is there any way to keep an eye on? Because I want to know how he goes now. Let's urge him into a medal, Greeno. What do you say?
100% for his efforts to make sure that the beds are fuckworthy. Tip of the hat. Well done there to Reese.
Well, very well done. Give him one.
Nice, Gary.
Fantastic work.
Damon, we're half hour in and we're still at the start of segment 1. Should we hit an ad and then come back with cancelling this week?
Yeah, sure. Why not? And a fantastic segue there. I really love the obvious approach.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later. Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We'd never thought that 30 years later they'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
Now with less than 3% sport content. It's the starting block on TAVshow.com.
Yes. Welcome back to the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us, the best way to do so would be via the little blue bird. Follow Greeno at the starting block. Follow myself at BoogieBumper. Greeno, there's a couple of things when I look back on this show, years from now or even today, if we're doing a bit of reflecting a few moments in the past, as we've established already.
Only minutes, though. Only allowed a minute and a half. So I'm assuming this is going to be in relation to Joy of Pessy's ad.
Obviously. So when we reflect on this show years from now, I think there's a couple of things that we can be proud of. And one of the things that I'm most proud of here in this little partnership with you is the way that we've been able to accelerate the cancellation of problematic things, Greeno.
I'm not here to waste time, Damo. Just get to the fucking point. Just cancel it all.
Just get rid of it.
Mucking about.
Yeah. Like, why are we pussyfooting around when there's so many problematic things out there? Why don't we just cancel everything and just reset everything back to zero, and then we can figure things out from there? So I came across this story earlier in the week of Ben & Jerry's. Now, you know Ben & Jerry's. People love Ben & Jerry's, Greeno.
I love the idea just of a world, like a hard reset on the world going up. We're starting again.
Yeah.
Back to zero.
We'll start again. So get rid of all all popularity, all celebrity status. Don't get rid of them, but just get rid of, cancel them from any kind of prominence or whatever, and reset everything culturally back to zero, and then see what happens. Because then the cream will rise to the top once they get a chance, Green. But right now we're just kind of, picking and poking, aren't we? We're picking and choosing who we like to cancel. And Greeno and myself, we're very, we believe in equality. So everybody should be cancelled. So
exactly.
Yeah, but Ben & Jerry's. Now, Ben & Jerry's is an ironic one because they also like to cancel other things. I don't know if you know this or not. So they make very bold, very, front foot facing kind of political statements a lot, Greeno, about things like contentious things like immigration and welfare and whatnot. So they're very much on the cancel culture bandwagon. And after online criticism, apparently, Ben & Jerry's says it will stop sales in occupied Palestinian territory, obviously referring to the Israeli situation, Greeno. Now, to that, I simply say, okay, that's nice and all. So I put this tweet out. But if America is racist and bigoted and built on stolen land, which they have said before many times, then why are you still selling in America? You know what I mean? I mean, this is the standard. It's time for Ben & Jerry's to
cancel ice cream in America.
Exactly. It's time for Ben & Jerry's to do the right thing and pull out of every market with either conquest, racism, or violence in its history. Enough is enough, Greeno.
Nice, Gary.
And I couldn't agree with me more on that.
I couldn't agree with you more. Exactly. First question, because once again, ignorance is bliss over here in Greeno's world. Big ice cream eaters over there in Israel?
Probably. It's very hot most of the time. I mean, it's the fucking desert, so I imagine ice cream would be popular.
Do you reckon? I reckon, because I reckon there's a melting issue there. I reckon it's so hot, so dry that the ice cream, it just becomes a melting puddle. And I reckon the reason they're actually pulling out is because sales were just low. The shipping costs were too expensive. And then they're like, here's an idea. Let's fucking virtue signal instead. And it becomes a reason, it becomes good promotion because all we're doing is selling like melted piles of ice cream over there and it's not making a profit. Here's how we can do it in a roundabout way.
Oh, folks, this is what happens when you're friends with a forensic accountant. Okay. You try to make a little bit of a, kind of joke pointing out a little bit of hypocrisy. And he's like, well, actually, if you minus the 14 cents you lose on the travel costs between here and there, it's like,
nice, Gary.
Same. Maybe Ben & Jerry's just aren't as a progressive an ice cream company as we think they are. And maybe it's a profitability issue.
They're trying to sell ice cream in the desert, the idiots. Don't they know it's hot out there?
Exactly. Just saying. Damo, you sent out a tweet. If we're going to talk about, issues and
important
divide,
issues,
much like the Palestinians. You sent out a tweet last week.
I can't believe you're about to do that.
About beef noodles.
So you liken the debate between Israel and Palestine to the debate between ramen noodles, chicken or beef flavor. Which do you prefer?
Where am I wrong? Where am I wrong in that? So you're on the beef bandwagon. You put it out there, and I said, look, I'm not going to reply until we get inside the show, because I'm the other side. 100%. I can't even remember the last time I ate a beef noodle.
Yeah, that's a scary thought. I used to like chicken noodle flavored when I was younger, but to me, the chicken noodle flavor tastes like the chicken potato chip flavor, and the chicken potato chip flavor tastes nothing like chicken, so I don't like it.
But here's the thing, it becomes a chicken broth.
But the beef noodle is like a beef kind of stew taste and a beef broth taste. And it's just, chicken's too sweet to be on a ramen noodle. That's my opinion.
Nice.
I don't even buy the chicken ones. I only buy beef.
See, I'm the opposite. I never buy beef. I only buy chicken. And you talk about, and the reason, I think you kind of may have pointed out the reason why is because if I'm having a beef stew, do you put noodles in a beef stew?
Do I put? No, I don't know. No.
Exactly. Now, do you chicken broth, like the chicken flavored? Yeah, I agree with you. It does taste like chicken seasoning that goes on a chip. Once again, fucking stupid on a chip. Yep. However, when you put that in water, it becomes a chicken broth. Now, do you put noodles in chicken soup?
No, I wouldn't probably. No.
Well, it's chicken. It's chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, but I don't eat it. I don't have chicken noodle soup. I don't make chicken soup. You know what I mean? So
yeah, fair call.
I probably
I'm
wouldn't.
saying.
It actually, you know what though? Like the beef broth that you get in the ramen, like the beef flavored ramen, it's like this drink. They have this drink in Scotland, Greeno, that you buy at the football. It's called Bovril.
Yeah, you've told me about Bovril before. Yeah,
and I was very skeptical, and my mate was like, "No, you got to have a fucking cup of Bovril. You got to try it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll try it." And it's basically like the flavored soup that you get in the bottom of the 2-minute noodles, Greeno, beef flavored, and it just fucking warms because it's freezing cold outside. Like it's in winter. It's like 2 degrees. You're all rugged up, and this shit just warms you up from the inside. It's fucking amazing. Anyway, but here's another contentious point for you, Greeno, on the noodles. Now, here's my process, and let's see what your process is like. I like to add the flavoring to the boiling noodles, and then because the lovely Lady Boog, she adds the flavoring after she boils it and mixes it all around. I like to add it before because I don't want it overpowered with flavor. And then I strain out, like, I'm going to say like 80% of the liquid, and then I just have the rest. And then I let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then like 90% of the liquid has all been soaked up by the noodles. That's how I roll. Do you like to have it like that, or would you rather have like a bowl of water with noodles?
Well, he was the question I was about to ask you. I'm like, are you a broth man or a no broth man in the noodles?
Well, a very small.
Well, you're a 20% broth.
I used to have no broth, and then lately I've just been adding more and more broth because it has been really cold here in the morning, like 2 a.m. when I get home and eat the shit. So it's like, okay, that's better. You know, a little bit of hot. See, me personally, I'm a zero broth man. Now my process is noodles cooked in boiling water. Let the noodles cook. Drain the whole thing all out of water. All we've got now is noodles. Then you add the flavor, because otherwise you dilute the flavor of the seasoning. But I want to dilute the water. I want to dilute.
See, I don't want it. I just want to fucking punch that flavor in. So there's got to be no water. Like there can be a little bit of residual, and then I add the water after noodles done. Quick mix, good to go.
Okay. Do you only have 1 pack, or are you a 2-pack man?
Two pack.
2-pack man. Yeah.
It's got to be 2 packs.
Same here.
1 pack's for kids. You know, if you're gonna have.
Do you put 2 seasonings in though, or just 1?
2 seasonings for sure.
Oh wow!
2 seasonings.
God, it'd be so powdery and shit though. Chalky.
No, because there's still a little bit of liquid in it because you still got the moisture from the noodle. You got to make sure you give it a good mix, and you're sweet. Here's a fun fact. I got told this story.
See these people who prefer chicken noodles? They're fucking crazy.
Nice,
just pouring the fucking powder onto the raw noodle. Oh god.
No, they're not raw. They're cooked.
I know.
Now, it's good. Trust me. Now, here's something that I got told at St. Mary's RSL back like 20-odd years ago.
Yes.
And I thought this dude was a fucking lunatic because he goes, try this. He goes, boys, trust me. Try it and you won't go back. And he goes, chicken noodles, but add a tin of tuna. Just a small tin of plain in spring water tuna.
Not in
mix
oil?
It all up. No oil. It's got to be in spring water. Okay. You got to drain it from the spring water. Yeah. Mix it all up. He's like, you'll never go back. And he was fucking right. So chicken noodles.
Nice, Gary.
Chicken noodles and 1 tin drained of spring water tuna.
Yep.
Mix it all in together. And then suddenly you can get away with 1 packet instead of 2. And it feels like a full meal.
It just goes to show you don't have to be a superhero in order to be memorable for somebody. You're like that guy, this random dude at a St. Mary's RSL, like when you're on the piss and stuff and you're just having some bullshit conversation about fucking 2-minute noodles. And he's like, nah, mate, trust me, you'll never go back. Throw a can of tuna in there. He's had a profound impact on your life. You still remember him, and this is years ago, and it's changed your life.
Tuna. Yeah, 100%.
Change your life.
Nice,
so
Gary.
that should be an indicator for people out there. You don't have to be some, grand thing in order to have a positive impact and change people's lives forever. You might just be a guy who accidentally, drunkenly one night put tuna on noodles. And then bang, there you go. You've created something, a movement, Greeno. That's a fantastic little story.
I like stories about pinatas.
It's a great little story. Have you been teaching? Have you still been teaching, Greeno?
I have. Sorry, before we get to the teaching, I've got one thing I snuck in the rundown. Quick story time.
I like stories about pinatas.
Just before the show. So, in answer to your question, still been doing the Teacher Greeno this week. Yeah. And why it links is the wife's like, hey, where are our kitty scissors? I'm like, what do you mean kitty scissors?
What are kitty
scissors?
Like, well,
like scissors, like safety scissors for kids to use. Because I've just been giving her the fucking chicken cutters to cut out her letters, right?
Okay.
Because she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
"It's kind of a heavy-duty scissor, though, isn't it?"
She's got to cut out the letter. It doesn't matter. It's the only scissors I got. So
bigger than her arm.
Yeah, it's fine. She's got to learn. And she can cut a chook at the same time. Everyone's a winner. Yeah. So anyway, I'm out in the garage. I'm like, surely they've got to be out. There's an arts and crafts box in the garage.
Okay.
I'm going through.
Is that where that's where you keep your like glitters and your glues?
Yeah, that's it. Like crayons. We don't use it frequently, so I don't want it inside the house. I'd fucking chuck it in the garage in the cupboard. We're good to go. Sure. Now, inside the same cupboard, I realize I've got like this like case of beer, tinnies of new, Damo. Now, I'm trying to think of the US. I'm trying to think of the US equivalent of tinnies of new. It's fucking like it's cheap as shit beer.
Michelob.
You get maybe you get a slab of it. You get 30 cans for like $40, and it's like, yeah, maybe cans of that. Anyway, so I bought like last year when I was drinking excessively in last year's lockdown. I was like, well, I can't afford to keep on drinking expensive beer. I've got to cut it back. I'm going to start drinking tinnies because it's the only way I can't afford to drink it.
Well,
I was drinking that for a while.
Because you've upped your intake now, you've got to ration out the quality. Now it's about quantity, not quality, right?
Exactly. So anyway, a year ago, did that, and then we came out of lockdown. We could live a normal life, so I stopped drinking as heavily. But I still had like 3/4 of a slab of tinnies of new.
Okay.
And this was in my old house. Now, these tinnies of new, I even brought along with the move because I moved house because I couldn't. I'm not going to get rid of them.
And it's also worth. I just want to.
I like stories about pinatas.
I just want to interrupt the story just for a moment because people are putting like suggestions in the chat for the equivalent beer. And it is worth noting that each city in Australia kind of has its own go-to cheap beer, right? So in Melbourne, it's VB. In Sydney, it's Tooheys New. In Brisbane, it's 4X. I don't know which one they drink in Adelaide. In Perth, it's Swan Lager, right? So they all have their own kind of little cheap go-to beers. And Sydney, Tooheys New is ours. So, I don't know. Blue Ribbon is one that Coors Light. All right. So, I just wanted to establish that.
I like stories about pinatas.
So you know what we're talking about here.
So this slab's kind of come with me. I literally moved house with it. And my wife looked at me and she's like, are you like, we're moving, we've got fucking shit everywhere. Yeah. Are you really putting that in the moving truck? I'm like, yeah, man. Like, is everyone just going to leave the beers here? Like, I'm taking them with me.
Got to take the beers. What are we leaving the beers behind for? What did they do? We don't leave any
soldiers. Why can't you just throw them out? I'm like, no, man, we're making space in the car for the fucking beers. We're taking them with us.
Did she? Hang on. Did she say why not throw the beers out?
Nah, she didn't say why to throw them out. She just gave me this look like, are you really packing the beers in the car? Because it was one of the first things I moved. I'm like, well, what if I want a beer when I'm there? Like,
I'm glad it didn't progress beyond a look, like because otherwise, you know, you're getting into maybe this isn't working out.
It's not working territory.
That territory.
So anyway, they've been stuck away in my cupboard for the entire time I've lived. I've been living here now for almost 9 months. So I'm looking, I'm like, shit, I better have a look at these tins. What's the use by date?
Yes. Critical.
So I quickly check and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, Jesus, we're coming up to the use by date.
What's your time frame?
So I'm talking, I've got 16 tins of new to drink in the next 3 days, Damo.
Oh, nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Got to get it done, mate. Got to get it done.
For the sacrifices I've got to make here, I've got to smash down 16 cans of shitty beer in the next day or two to make sure, because can't waste them.
No,
can't waste them.
Absolutely.
I like stories about pinatas.
Which brings me into homeschooling, Damo.
I like stories about pinatas.
Now, we've been given a lesson plan this week, which has been great. Appreciate the lesson plan being given by the teachers.
Wow. Thanks, Teach, for doing the bare minimum again. Appreciate it.
No, they've done good. I'm not shitting on them. They're doing good.
I know you're not. I am.
The thing is, first thing and foremost, right, I've realized there must be a lot of padding in the school day.
You think you only just figured that out?
because I'm trying to juggle this with like doing my full-time job simultaneously.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pick and choose times to set up activities, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, the only way I can get this done is I'm fucking nipping everything in the bud ASAP. Yeah. So I'm pumping out a whole school day by midday.
Okay.
We're done by midday. We've done the whole curriculum. Don't get me wrong. We're fucking doing it. But it's done by midday.
Hang on. I just need to.
I like stories about pinatas.
Are you seriously saying to me that you're now taking like a cram attitude towards your lovely daughter's education, Greeno? So you're,
no.
You're just trying to get it all, squeeze it all in before lunchtime.
We're cutting out the padding, Damo. I'm like, how do they feel a whole school day with this shit? I can knock this off by lunch.
You get the lesson plan and you're like, you know what? Let's start making a few changes here. Let's trim that, cut that out. All right, we're skipping that.
Skipping that. No, because hear me out, right? So we've done this.
She's just getting the essentials. That's what you're saying.
No, because they repeat activity each day because they want to implant in their brain, right? Which is fine. But I'm like, once we fucking ticked it off, we're good, right? We're sweet. So I'm like, we've done the rainbow tens. We've done rainbow tens. You want to do rainbow tens again? She's like, nah, man, I know the rainbow tens. Sweet. Move on. Next. Skipping that. We get to the dance lesson. You want to do the dance? I'll put the dance on. Nah, fuck the dance. All right, excellent. Skipping that.
Fuck the dance. She's deciding now. It sounds like she's in charge of the lesson plan, not you.
She's in charge of the math and English. I make her do, but the dance stuff. I'm like, do you want to do the dance? Well, we'll play the video in the background. It's fine. We're good to go. Yeah. We tick it off. We take a photo.
I'd be a horrible dad because I'd be like, so do you want to learn how to play FIFA? Because we could do.
No, here's the thing, Dave.
Do you want to learn how to play Call of Duty or something? That'll be cool, you know.
So this week they're learning the teen numbers, right? And what they teach them is batches of 10 and then batches of ones. Okay. So you've got your batch of 10. That's your one number, and then you got your 7 ones, which is a 7 digit. So you got a 1 and then a 7, 17.
Okay.
So what they do is they get the kids to like, because it's the best way to learn is by little pieces.
Right.
You can count them out.
Okay.
So the suggestion was get some sticks or some paddle pops or things that the kids can put into a group and then do their individual sevens. So I'm like, that's a great idea. And I'm looking around the house and I'm like, well, it needs to be practical. And I found poker chips.
Bottle caps.
Bottle caps and poker chips. So I found poker chips. So not only did I teach her about, stacks of 10 and 7 and 7 individuals, I also got to teach her about big blind, small blind.
Nice, Gary.
That was a fucking 5-minute setup for that one joke.
Yeah. Now we're teaching her how to gamble. Now, would you like to do your times table again, or would you like to see me take down this whale in this online poker fucking shorthand tournament? What do you think?
Yeah.
Did we do that?
Nice, Gary.
Speaking of the dancing lesson that Damo, I was very excited. I did put the fucking jokes aside. I did put the dancing lesson on, and my word was I excited when I put on the first dancing lesson. I sent you the picture.
Pat on the back, did you?
No, this. Can you pull up the picture of the homeschooling dance picture that I sent you? The homeschooling Milo.
Brain break with Milo.
Brain break with Milo. So the teacher of the dance lesson.
I can't believe
every day is Milo. So it's time to bring out the Milo rankings for another week. So
okay.
At number 1, Milo the drink remains at number 1 for. I think it's going on 2.5 years straight. So well done.
It's pretty hard to dislodge it up there. It's the Tyson.
To Milo the drink. Now, number 2 is the Milo bar, Damo. The Milo bar gets a shout out this week. Now, spoke to the board, the Milo directors, if you will, earlier this week. They said we need to point out that the Milo bar covers both the one with yogurt and the one without yogurt. They're both
really
considered the Milo bar.
They're two different bars. Though. It's interesting. I wasn't invited to this meeting because I think we might have got a little bit of pushback on that clarification. But anyway,
I don't make the rules.
Yeah, we're all in this together, Greeno, in the Milo rankings.
That's it. Yeah. Number 3, we've got historic Milo sent in by BE a number of months ago.
Yep.
Number 4, soon to be dead dog Milo.
Yes, which surely must be dead by now. So can we just start calling him Dead Dog Milo?
Dead Dog Milo. Number 4, we've got Milo from This Is Us, Milo Ventimiglia. Yep. Number 5. And number 6 this week, Damo.
Yes.
brain break Milo.
Well,
because this guy's done 5 lessons for me during the week. He's done pop and locks. He's done robots. He's done nay. He's doing it all. This guy can dance. He can move, and he's keeping my kid occupied for 25 minutes a day of their lesson. So we love this, Milo.
So straight into the top 10 is a good indication of just
at number 6.
Yeah,
he's very impressive with brain break Milo.
And who's to say he might go up the rankings even more in the future, depending on how he performs, Greeno, which is a good incentive for the lad.
Good point. Then we got Milo the Rapper there at number 7. Yep. Then we got Milo from Milo and Otis.
Yes.
At number 8.
Which we decided when Pessy was on, that includes like all of the Milos who played Milo in Milo and Otis, like as one, as one entity. Yeah. Even though there was 25 of them. And they just kind of there was a dumpster around the back of the studio where they just kept filling up with these adorable little animals in order to shoot that movie. But that whole dumpster, that counts as Milo from Milo and Otis as one entity.
Yeah.
Because they all shared the role. Good. It's the role, Greeno. It's the character, and they were all part of it. So.
Nice.
Number 10, Explosive Milo. So that rounds at the top 10. Unfortunately, outside the top 10 again this week. Unfortunately, sad state of affairs. Milo Yiannopoulos just misses out.
Just misses out yet again.
Yet again.
It's the JJ Stoner Spring Collection. The perfect attire for any and every occasion you can think of this season. Like we were in the mosh pit full of sweat and everyone's slapping, hitting, and pulling on you. This shit won't rip! Lunch at your favorite cafe? Brunch with the girls? These stylish ensembles will give you the confidence you need to look and feel your best. Or if you're getting arrested for possession, it comes with a built-in police stick-proof body armor. Keep swinging, pigs! Call now, and your order will come with a complimentary ounce of that dankest bubblegum slurricane that the South has to offer. Don't forget the wall tapestry! If you need to cover your wall, it works!
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, The Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like I was just gonna listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do that. You do the show without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No.
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on, secretly you enjoy it.
You look like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you.
Come on, you secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
And there you have it. So subscribe to the Sunday Night Shit Show at youtube.com/Sunday Night Shit Show. And hope to see you there on Sunday nights. Bye.
Welcome to The Starting Block. Follow on Twitter at The Starting Block. Drop the K at the end. Find the podcast on iTunes or on tavshow.com.
Yes, back on the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Well done. I was leaving the volume up because I remember last week you said I should wait a little longer before I come back after the break. So I just want to give you, I'm going to cut that off and give you a little.
Nice, Gary!
Sticking true with that. Well done, Greeno.
Remembering that I'm going to leave it 5 more bars and then jump on in. Damo, during the ad break, the Tokyo Olympics coverage over here, apparently just kicked off. And I saw this tweet where they were talking about, hey, here's our crack broadcast team. That's going to be covering the Olympics. And I'm like, ooh, this is going to be a bit of a chore.
It's got to be Bruce McAvaney has to be be in some way.
Bruce is there. Bruce is fine. No problem with Bruce. Bruce is the man.
Kathy.
It wouldn't be an Olympics without Bruce. But then I'm looking through and I'm like, AFL commentator, female cricket commentator, Olympian, swimmer, who knows, sunrise host. Ooh, this is going to be a chore.
Who else have we got?
That's it. That's the crew. We've literally got a whole bunch of AFL commentators, a couple of female cricket commentators, one Olympian, one former swimmer, and people from Sunrise. That's the Olympic crew that's going to be hosting on Channel 7. This is going to be a long couple of weeks, Damo.
Fantastic. Just I have to try. I'm looking for that video, Greeno, of Bruce McAvaney, the supercut of him, just to give people an idea. I hope this is the one.
Man.
I hope
He's
this
cultural
is the one.
icon.
McGrath last week, what's it? 3 or 4 blokes are feeling a whole lot better now, including Rioli, aren't they? Half of legends.
Yes. Okay. So this isn't the one I was looking for, but this is just one. This is just from one game. Okay. So the thing with Bruce McAvaney that makes him so funny is the way he commentates. Right. He ends everything with a question. So that's his commentator style. He's having a really good game, isn't he? They've done really well, haven't they? Like, he's always asking questions. So have a listen to this.
McGrath last week, what's it? 3 or 4 blokes are feeling a whole lot better now, including Rioli, aren't they? Half of legends, isn't it? You feel like the Eagles have got their teeth into it, don't you? It probably would have been that matchup a couple of weeks ago, wouldn't it? Impressive, isn't it, the whole? I feel like, though, they're comfortable again, aren't they? Strange, isn't it, that they got a bit of a stinger, didn't they? Up for the minute, aren't they? Hutchie was giving him one back, wasn't he?
This is one game.
Govin's been superb, hasn't he? Yes. He needs a circuit breaker, darling, doesn't he? He needs a clever kick by De Goey, wasn't it? And that's a rangy athlete, isn't he? It is Dusty-like, isn't it? Oh, it is. He's a weapon, isn't he? Gee, this is a good game of footy now, isn't it? He's had a superb opening half, hasn't he? A world of difference, isn't it? It's low, isn't it? That was interesting. A spike, basically, wasn't it?
It's relentless, man.
The score's only 51-39. This is only half time.
I know. It's for one, aren't they? They're both two of the all-time great goals in grand finals in the opening half, didn't they? The way you see it as well.
Yeah.
The old circle work almost. The Eagles are coming, aren't they? They have good, those youngsters for West Coast, haven't they? They're owning the air at the moment, aren't they? The umpiring's been good, don't you? Yeah. It's been good, Fox, hasn't he? We've had great hat-tricks at the MCG. I'm not sure if we've had 3 better grand final goals, have we? He can leap and fly, can't he? He was a friendly playing with it because of Nat Nui's injury, isn't he? He was the best ruckman on the ground, I reckon, in the first half, don't you? Oh, yeah. He was coming dusted at half-time, wasn't he? Yeah. Big guys, isn't it? Yeah. Can't get a past centre wing at the moment, can they?
One game, Greeno. Just one game. Holy shit.
The maturity of the umpires has come through so well today, hasn't it? Very good if Collingwood get a BT, because that kick and a half, then you would think it'd be too much, wouldn't you? Biggest lead for the match, can you believe it? One last chance, you reckon? Oh, can you believe the darling drop? Can you believe it?
Can you believe it? There you go. Great. So
Nice, Gary!
That's like the #1 Olympics guy in this country, Bruce McAvaney, commentating football.
That clip was pretty good, wasn't it?
That was pretty good, wasn't it? He did pretty well, didn't he? You'd like to see Bruce commentating the Olympics, wouldn't you?
He's one of the best in my opinion. What do you think? I don't know whether that's a strategy, like a commentary strategy, where he's just trying to make sure he's engaging the other commentators, but that's taking it too far, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I flip-flop between, is he trying to bring other people into the conversation, or does he not want to make any definitive statements himself? So he masks it by saying, like, he's had a shocking game, hasn't he? And like
hasn't he? So he gets someone else on board.
Yeah, well, he's making them say the controversial statement in as opposed to him saying it.
So actually, I think you're probably on the money with that. It reminds me of like there's this baseball podcast I listen to. It's fantastic. But one thing that always cracks me up is when the host talks about something he's written, and then asks if the person agrees with him.
Right.
So he's like, in my article this week, I said this. Do you agree with that? But he does it with every single fucking article he writes. So it's constantly like asking people, do you agree? It's never, what do you think? It's always, here's what I think.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, like
it's an interesting kind of.
It's not a conversation about here's what I think, here's what I think, and we may or may not disagree. He's asking for commitment straight out of the blocks.
Spot on, yeah. Do you agree with what I wrote? Interesting strategy.
And it's an interesting strategy. It's an interesting strategy, isn't it, Greeno?
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's done well, hasn't it?
we talked about the homeschooling, and but once again, I'm taking the gambling approach, more the
Let's get a good on the poker tables, then we'll never have to worry about money.
Exactly. I teach her about dollars today. I'm like, look, here's where you put the money. Here's the gold coins. Here's the silver coins. Here's not to worry. That was actually a quick story time on that one.
I like stories about pinatas.
So the activity today was like, do you remember when you were a kid and you had to you put a coin under a bit of paper and you do the lead pencil over it and it gave you like an imprint of the coin?
Of course. Yeah. But it wasn't. It was under like oven paper or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do that activity today, and we're doing the activity. And I'm like, look, they really need to bring this up to reality, modern day times, because maybe you just need to scratch over mum and dad's credit card because these kids are not going to know what coins are because they don't exist anymore. Seems like a waste of time.
It's very true. Yeah. Scratch mum and dad's credit card and then she'll be like at the store trying to swipe the piece of paper and stuff. I don't understand. It should work now. Look.
It's not working.
Look at the numbers. No, just order up over the phone, sweetheart. That's how you use daddy's credit card. Yeah.
Make sure you scratch over the CVC number to make sure you get that one nice and clear.
That's right.
But one approach I'm not going to take, Damo, is the hot toss approach.
Okay, why not?
Because I saw this during the week.
Okay.
If you want to pull up that story.
Yep.
COVID, Damo.
Yeah,
COVID's ruined it for everyone.
A COVID-19 infected male tutor in Taiwan has had sex with 5 people 6 times in 5 different hotel rooms, and it caused a cluster outbreak.
Oh, yeah.
The best comment that underneath this was, so this was a ... cluster fuck, which I thought was very clever. And
give
then somebody,
that man a nice Gary.
We'll give him a nice Gary. But then also to the reply, which was from Diana Minnie, whoever that is. No, I think you'll find it's a fuck cluster, which is
nice Gary.
Very well done there as well. So there you go, Greeno. The tutors now, they're the booty calls these days. The nerds really are taking over, aren't they?
We can only hope. We can only hope.
So what do you think? Wait, so you're a forensic accountant. So what do you make of this equation? He had sex with, help me understand this. He had sex with 5 people 6 times in 5 different hotel rooms. So which one got the seconds? Which one went back? Which one did he go back for seconds on, Greeno? That's
what we need to do more investigation. Yeah. Or it could be like, once again, we could have had a situation where maybe we got a stacky situation.
But then
there could be some stackies
so
involved.
You think there might have been 2 people in one room?
2 people in one room, perhaps. Yeah, exactly. And then there might have been double up. So he might have had 3 times with one girl, but then he had two,
half
like
a
2
time.
3 ways, like a group session. Group
nice,
tutorial,
Gary.
if you will.
Yes, very good.
Let's move on from that.
Yeah, that was worth it.
It really wasn't, was it? In retrospect,
no.
Once again, this is kind of the point of the show where I seem to let the team down.
They can't all be winners, Greeno. They can't all be winners.
They can't be. What did you think of that? That was a pretty good segment, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we can do better, can't we?
We can. But before we get to Giannis and the Bucks, we're talking about nerd stuff before. This week, went out and bought the new F1 game. Now, reason being is I realized going through my back catalog of previous platforms and games I've purchased, I just buy the exact same game every 10 years.
I'm like that with FIFA. I'm always buying FIFA.
So that's pretty much it. I buy an NBA game, I buy an F1 game, I buy a Tony Hawk, I buy NFL, like Madden, and occasionally a different sports game. That's about it. So I haven't bought F1 in like a decade. And you messaged me last year and said, hey, just got this 2021 F1.
Yeah.
You're gonna grab it. And
It's off its fucking tits. That's how good it was.
Great.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm gonna hold off like another 8 months because my favorite team is McLaren.
Yep.
And we got Ricardo driving into McLaren next year. I wanted to buy the one that had Ricardo in the McLaren. So I held off. Picked it up this week. All good. Now, something I noticed. I didn't notice it when I saw the ads, but playing the game, waiting for it to load up. It's got Lewis at the front. It's got Max Verstappen on the left, and I think it's got Lando Norris on the right. Yep. That's the front. But what's very glaringly obvious, Damo, I don't know if you're seeing
is the light reflection coming off Lewis Hamilton's watch, his Tag Heuer wristwatch.
It's coming off his Tag Heuer wristwatch. That's correct.
Wait. Wait. Are you joking?
I'm not.
I was joking. I haven't seen it. I swear to God, I have not seen it.
It's fucking freaky. He
I
has.
was making a joke because he's such a fucking advertiser, a walking billboard.
That's why I put it late in the rundown because I only noticed it last night.
Wow.
He has his Tag Heuer watch showing at the front of the advert with his hand out. Lewis is he's gone, I'll be on your cover as long as I can pimp my fucking Tag Heuer watch.
Oh, he's such a fucking douchebag, isn't he?
I couldn't believe it. I had to add it to the rundown late.
Such a fucking wanker. The fact that it's only English F1 fans that idolize him. Everybody else thinks he's a fucking douchebag, like for shit like that. Remember when he tried to sue the watchmaker that's called Hamilton, and they've been around for like 150 years or something?
Longer, yeah, exactly.
Such a fucking douchebag, man. God, I hope his record doesn't last that long. You know, I want somebody. Can somebody please make a competitive car so we can stop these fucking cunts from winning all the time, please?
Well, Max is leading the championship at the moment.
Thank God. But who knows what's going on with the championship? It's all COVID ravaged. Like we miss out on a Grand Prix again. You know what I mean? It's fucking bullshit.
Well, that's because we're making them do 14 days quarantine.
Yeah, I know. That's bullshit. So fucking the season has an asterisk on it already because there's no Australian GP. Fuck them.
Exactly. I just sent you a pic of the cover that I'm talking about.
All right, sweet.
In your DMs.
Okay, I'll bring that up. Fuck, man. Lewis really is just because
He's the only one with his hand showing.
Of course. We've been covering Lewis. Remember when we first started pointing this shit out, like on the radio, how angry people would get? And it's like, oh no, Lewis is a fucking champ. You're jealous and shit. It's like, no, he's such a douchebag.
He's a great driver, don't get me wrong, but probably maybe the third best driver I've ever seen.
Oh, wow. There it is. There it is, folks. Holy shit.
No one else gets their arm shown except for Lewis, who purposely has his hands raised and a watch outside his racing pit.
That is a nice fucking pickup there, Greeno. Well done. Look at that. He
We've
just
been
can't
all
help
over
himself.
Lewis and his Tag Heuer watch, but yeah, first thing I noticed.
And again, I got to reiterate, I was joking.
Yep.
Shit, man. There you go. That's a fantastic little story there. Well done.
Now, Damo, you know me. You know what's the thing I hate the most about sports coverage more than anything else?
The journalists writing the coverage.
Spot on. I hate fucking backstories and puff pieces, sir.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. I just want to watch the sport. I want to be left alone. I just don't want to know anything about where they came from, who their fucking mum was. I hate all of it, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a bar of it. Just I want to watch the athletes. I want to be impressed by what they do with their athletic ability, and I'll move on.
Correct.
Now,
I go to the football to watch the actual game, and if you're going to have weird little, pseudo political ceremonies and stuff, I'm not there for that. I don't care. Sorry, don't care. So I just care about the game. That's it. Just give me the game. Yeah. That's enough.
Side note, something I noticed in the week, the US team lost like their first match in 77 matches.
Yeah, against Sweden.
First game of the Olympics against Sweden. Bit less time virtue signaling, more time training, I think, ladies.
Well, it's only funny because before the Olympics, they were writing shit like, is the Olympics too easy for the American women? Like, that's how fucking arrogant they were. The American female football team, it's too easy for them. They're going to win. They got fucking smashed in their first game. So I was like, well, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Exactly. Now, the reason I talk about the backstory is I didn't realize what Giannis Antetokounmpo's backstory was. And I came away because like before the series, I was like, oh, it'd be nice to see the Suns win. The Suns never won a championship before, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Chris Paul coming to the end of his career. It'd be nice to see him win one.
If anyone's like at Barkley level of you want them to win a ring, for me it's Chris Paul, because he's like, he's been chasing one like at all of these different teams, and he's obviously one of the best players in the league, but he's just got such wretched luck, which he goes to a contender and then for whatever reason they don't contend. It's just like it's just relentless.
They get to the finals and then they choke and they miss the final hurdle.
Yeah.
But the Bucks won throughout the week. They were down 2-0 in the NBA Finals series. They won 4 straight, won it.
They cost me some money because I had it on the Suns, and then 2 games into the series, I'm like, oh, fucking payday coming. Like, this is going to be over in 4. And then, they came back and ruined it. So, good on them.
Exactly. And look, what's what you want is you want your star to step up in the big times, like clinching game. You want them to step up. And Giannis said, look, we got a chance to win the championship today in Milwaukee. Fuck this. I'm doing it all. He scored 50 points out of the 106 they scored in the clincher. 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Like, he just absolutely did it. He got NBA Finals MVP.
The great players, the great players take control of the big games and they make it their game. Like they get it on their terms. That's just how they win. Like, that was Jordan's career. The big games,
exactly.
Jordan will win it. He wants to win it. He wants the ball.
He's going to step up.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Giannis did that. He basically carried him on their back and did it. But I didn't understand where his backstory was. And then I felt bad for kind of cheering against him because I'm like, fuck the Bucks. Who cares? Want to see the Suns win.
He's pretty young, though. That's why I didn't care, because he's got a lot of time. He's going to have a lot of shots at it.
This dude was homeless before he came to the NBA.
Yeah.
Him and his family lived in Greece, but they weren't actually legally considered Greek residents because they're from Nigeria, and they had to hawk like watches and shit on the street. They were basically, this dude's Aladdin.
I can show you the world.
Exactly. And just kept on playing. They came to the league. It wasn't like a massive superstar pick, 15th overall, and I was told by his coach, I saw this thing a little bit earlier today, by his coach, he was pointing out this player who was having he was like a middle of the range player, but he was a tall dude that was had a few skills like Giannis had.
Yep.
And he's like, look, if you work really hard, you could be that dude. And he goes, Coach, no offense. If I work really hard and I turn out to be that dude, I need to go back to Greece. No, he's like, I'm way better than that. And fucking credit to him. He put his money's where his mouth, he's busted his ass and became a champion, him and his brothers, that came from fucking nothing.
Yep.
And that was the first time ever I'm like, wow, I actually like this backstory. Like, I hate backstories normally with sports, but after the fact, I kind of enjoyed it. So well done to Giannis and the Bucks.
Yeah, stories like that are good. And this is a good little clip too, like just to cement what you're saying. It probably speaks to his personality a bit. He's asked about super
I think
teams.
I know this.
Yeah.
Yes, I love this. This is what made me go searching for more Giannis stuff.
Right. So, like, when you think of a super team in the NBA, I'm thinking Golden State Warriors.
Miami Heat when LeBron went there.
Yeah, and Shaq was there
Lakers
as well,
when
wasn't he?
LeBron and Anthony Davis combined.
Well, Lakers with Shaq and Kobe as well. That was because Shaq went there to play with Kobe, didn't he? So because people were arguing Giannis is in a super team. It's like, no, he's not in a super team. They've become a really good team, but it's not the same thing as like a bunch of stars holding out on contracts so they can go to the same team together.
Exactly.
It's a totally different thing. So he was asked about super team. So let's have a look at this.
Obviously I wanted to get the job done. But that's my stubborn side. Like, it's easy to go somewhere and go and win a championship with somebody else. It's easy. I could go. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but I could go to a super team, and just do my part and win a championship. Still won. But this is the hard way to do it, and this is the way. And we did it. Did it.
I like him.
Nice.
This is the hard way of doing it, and we fucking did it. So it's as if to say, you guys have got nothing on us,
Exactly.
Well
He's
done.
like, yeah, I could have gone to that super team. I could have been Kevin Durant, where I went and fucking got a championship. I joined a team that already had the record-setting 73 wins in a season.
Yeah.
Then I joined him and won a title. Nah, man, I fucking did it the hard way. I stuck with the Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks, man, haven't won in 50 years.
Yep.
Like, I remember when Andrew Bogut was the #1 draft pick, and we're like, oh, dude, he's at the Bucks. Like, they're going to fucking win a championship ever. Like, it's the Bucks.
Yep.
They're a bottom of the barrel team.
They had a couple of good years when Jason Kidd was there, and they were like fighting like to get into playoffs.
No, it was Ray Allen.
Ray Allen, yeah, but Kidd
Ray
played
Allen
for the Bucks for years,
Glenn
didn't
Robinson. Yeah, but no, he didn't. Glenn Robinson, Ray Allen.
Kidd played for the Suns. He played for
and the Nets.
Yeah, the Nets, but no, Dallas. That's the one. Thank you very much. Yeah, Dallas. Yeah, you're right. Trying to think of really good Bucks players throughout the years, it's quite difficult, isn't it? Like, you can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's it. It was like I think of Vin Baker, Glenn Robinson, Ray Allen, and that's going back to 90s.
But Ray Allen did his best work with the Celtics, didn't he?
Ray Allen's been good a lot of places, really.
Right, but he won. Didn't he win with the Celtics and Kevin Garnett, KG?
He did, and then he won in Miami as well with LeBron. So he's won in a few different places. Yeah, right. So he's a good player. Quick stat man before we finish up. I'm a stat man. First time in history, in the space of 1 week, the US men's team and the US women's team have lost in internationals.
Nice,
both of them
Gary.
lost. Both of them lost to Australia.
Oh, well, there you go.
Nice, Gary.
See, the American listeners to this will be like, "Oh, fuck, you're hitting America a little bit." But I've just got to say, we win so rarely in basketball and shit that we're going to make a big thing out of it. So for them, if it's only news in America if the American basketball team loses, for us, it's news if we win. For them, it's news if they lose. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
That's why we've got to give it a
nice, Gary.
It probably won't happen again for a while.
That's it.
That's it.
Plugs.
Follow Greeno at the starting block. One more drop the K at the end. Follow myself at BoogieBumper. Follow our friends, and let's get the fuck out of here, Greeno.
That's it. See you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell you the truth?
Hey Patriots, this is your favorite Southerner, Doc Martin. Just wanted to remind you to put on your calendars to join me and your favorite ne'er-do-well Yankee, Phil D'Angelo, on Saturday nights, beginning with Promises Kept at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by The Speakeasy with all of your favorite Patriots. You never know what we might cuss and discuss.
That's right, Doc Martin. This is everybody's favorite Yankee, Phil D'Angelo speaking. And on Saturday night, we could have Kimmy, Y-Censored, affectionately known as Electrolux, the original Grandma, UK Neil, Rusty and his famous sound test show, Coffee Talk with Sandra, Earth Citizen, Stefan, the infamous Grandma Sears, Mac Daddy may even make a show up, or virtually anyone else in the world for some irrelevant fun.
Yankee, you mean some irreverent fun. So be sure to join us on Twitch, Periscope, D-Live, or YouTube.
That's right, Doc. Follow us at Winning TV on all of those channels.
So be sure and put it on your calendar. We'll be looking for you. We'll leave the porch light on.
I still think it's irrelevant fun.
But why are you farming for coins when you have a heavy bag?
You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.